Hello and welcome back to FDTV. We are back again with another episode of our weekly podcast. I'm your host Ali along with my fellow co-host Jawad. Jawad, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So finally, we got the end of the few seasons in Premier League and in La Liga with Serie A as well, finishing up. Looking forward to the Euros now. So let's get into it.
So let's start off with Portugal. Many people say that they are the favorites for this season's European Championships, and with the squad that they have put out, I see that very easily. They have a world-class squad. So, what is your take on the squad announcement, and are you shocked by any surprises by Fernando Santos?
There's not many surprises there. The reason for that is because everyone you expected to be in the starting 11 is there, right? But now you really got to figure out how are they going to line up. What is the starting 11? What's the strongest starting 11? Because one way or another, you're going to leave someone who is currently in form out of the starting 11. And that's what they're facing right now. They have a huge depth in terms of quality in their squad. So who do they put out? That's the question. Who do you see as the starting 11? And do you think it was a good choice to go with this particular squad right now?
I'm fairly happy with the squad, especially with the inclusions of players like Joao Palhinha, who has an amazing season this campaign. And although I'm kind of shocked with the inclusion of Nelson Semedo, I think he did not deserve a place in the squad because he has been awful for Wolverhampton Wanderers this season, and in the season before with Barcelona, he was the main culprit in that 8-2 loss against Bayern. But this video is all about choosing the best 11 for Portugal. So let's start off with the goalkeeper. I think this is a fairly straightforward pick. Rui Patricio should start in the goalkeeping spot. What do you think?
I think there isn't much choice there. Like, you gotta have someone who is of high quality, and that's where they have in there. Portugal struggle with world class goalkeeper on the club level as well. So having him as the starting 11 does make sense.
For the right back spot, let's move on to the right back spot. We have Nelson Semedo and Joao Cancelo, two players from the Premier League. Obviously, Cancelo had a firing start to the season under Pep Guardiola for Man City, and Nelson Semedo has been kind of poor throughout the season. He has failed to replicate his form when he signed for Barcelona throughout the last three seasons, and I don't see him starting at all. And Cancelo for me is a straightforward pick.
Yeah, I think Cancelo is the easy pick here, considering the form that he has been in and the way he would fit into the system. Right now, the world football does not really play the right and the left back spots as defensive players. They are much more attacking
Exactly.
threats with the center backs pushing out and covering, and one of the midfielders tucking in between the center backs. That's been the likes of any attacking team. That's the way they play, and that's the way they're set up. Specifically with Portugal, having two very attack-minded wingers up front, I think Juan Cancelo would be a good complement to that because of his hard work and the work rate he puts in, tracking up and down the field, covering really well whenever someone is out of position. So I think Cancelo is a good shout for the starting 11. I don't think anyone should be picked over him. Now, from the right back, let's move on to the left back spot, which is a little bit more kind of open to play. Who do you think starting on the left back spot for Portugal?
Uh, I am a massive fan of Rafael Guerreiro. Ever since I saw him for Portugal in the 2016 version of Euro, he was phenomenal on the left hand side. Also played as a midfielder as well. And when he signed for Borussia Dortmund, he transformed his club game to a whole new level. And always comes up with assists. Always likes to move forward, and is a very good long passer as well. So I think Rafael Guerreiro makes a perfect sense, and he complements Joao Cancelo in a way that they both can defend and they both can move forward when they want. So that is a very good pairing of fullback, in my opinion. What do you think?
So the other choice that they have called upon is Nuno Mendes, who's had a absolute
Yeah,
tremendous season with Sporting. Finally winning the League NOS this time round. Sporting has been in phenomenal form, and one of the key reasons for that is
exactly.
their attacking left back. So Mendes is always something I feel very comfortable with, specifically with his young age. I feel like they could be swapping in and out, but as of the experience goes, Nuno Fernandes does not have any. Mendes is actually lacking in terms of experience up front. That's where I feel like the advantage goes
True.
to your pick, and Guerrero should be starting, but Mendes, don't overlook him. That's my opinion. Yeah, let's get back into the center back spot. Now here's a few things that I want to lay out there. Pepe, though he might be very, very old, he's been called into the squad. And I feel like one of the games that he had
Yes.
in Champions League really showed what he can do. right? So the guy
True.
on his day, I don't think anyone in Portugal's defense beats him. But what do you think? Who starts ahead of him?
This is the first time in years that I am excited by the defense that Portugal have on their disposal. Pepe and Jose Fonta both have had a very good season. One for Porto, and the other obviously is playing for Lille and is 37. But with older age, I think they have proven that age is just a number. They have made exceptional tackles, put up great defensive numbers, and most importantly, both of them have experience at the top level on international stage. So, but for me, Pepe along with Ruben Diaz will be the way to go for Portugal, at least in the opening match, because they want to make a statement in the opening match, and they really want to show the world that they can win the competition. So, would you pick Jose Fonta ahead of Diaz, or who would miss out in your pick for the centre back spot?
So no one is getting ahead of Ruben Diaz. Let's just put it that way, right? So he is
True.
a shoo-in for
Yes.
the left-hand side of the center back pairing. It's on the right-hand side of the center back pairing is where you really got to think about this, right? So to be honest, my heart says Pepe because of the experience and the way I've seen him play. And the whole Portugal team in itself need a bit of grit, and he has that in spades, right? So I want to go with
Absolutely.
Ruben Diaz and Pepe at the starting center back pairing. I think that gives a Portugal a very solid defensive line, and like you said, Portugal has
Absolutely.
always been about the attack with the attacking players that they have on their disposal. But this time around, having a strong defense, I think is really going to be beneficial for their Euros push. Let's get into the midfield now. So it's really about the formation that we're going to do. I'm just going to stick with 4-3-3. I think that's what we should do with most of the teams. So the three-man midfield, who do you see coming into Portugal's three-man midfield?
Well, again, very excited by the midfield of Portugal as well. I'm a massive fan of a lot of players in this squad. João Palhinha, who has made his name in Portugal, has been picked by Fernando Santos for this year's Euros. He's an excellent box-to-box holding midfielder that can distribute the ball and can change the tempo of the game, kind of like Cruz, but on a much lower level. So very excited to see him in the squad as well. But for me, it's pretty straightforward. The two midfielder who would play in behind Bruno Fernandes would be Ruben Neves from Wolverhampton Wanderers, along with Renato Sanchez, who has a great turnaround for his career and is really looking like one of the best midfielders, and might be snapped up by a bigger team in the European football. So that is my two picks. What do you think?
So Renato Sanchez is a very interesting choice. The reason for that the game that I watched him against Milan, he absolutely dominated the midfield, not putting a step
True.
foot wrong in any direction. So I feel like he is a very good shout, but you're kind of forgetting one player. That's João Moutinho, right? So I feel like he has a very strong shout in the starting 11 as well. So that's where things get complicated. I feel like the shoe-in for the midfield spot has to be Bruno Fernandes. Along with him, who you put alongside with the pairing is a really interesting choice. I feel like Ruben Neves and João Moutinho is the way to go, with Renato Sanchez really giving specifically Ruben Neves a good run for his money. So the creative forces would obviously come from your midfielder. So I feel like that has to be said that Bruno Fernandes is untouchable at this point in Portugal's starting 11.
Absolutely.
Talking about specific man marking, you gotta have Cristiano Ronaldo in your starting lineup, even at what 37 years old.
Absolutely.
He's gonna be starting at what position? That's because the attack right now of Portugal is tremendously stacked. You've got the likes of Andre Silva, Juan Felix, then Diego Jota, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, right? So it's an amazingly talented upfront
Absolutely.
squad that they've got in terms of the forwards, but only can pick three. How do you line these people up front?
I think from midfield to attack, the transition needs to be very smooth. The two midfielders that I mentioned, Renato Sanchez and Ruben Neves, should play in behind Bruno Fernandes and give him the free role, like the Wayne Rooney of Manchester United, so he can operate in the free spaces in behind the 12-yard box and chip balls in for Ronaldo and other people to attack. But the front three for me is pretty straightforward. Cristiano Ronaldo from the left-hand side. I know he has lost his pace and a couple of steps, but you cannot take anything away from Ronaldo when he's going one-on-one against the fullback of the opposition team. He still can do damage. So Ronaldo from the left-hand side would be my pick. And as a striker, there has to be Andre Silva. I don't see Joao Felix starting again instead of Andre Silva. The man has been phenomenal. Both Ronaldo and Andre Silva have 29 goals this campaign. So for me, Andre Silva starts as a striker. On the right hand side, Bernardo Silva from Man City had another great season. Would be my pick as well. So this is the front three that is most in form and will be the best for this particular system. Do you disagree or agree?
So I somewhat agree with one thing, one caveat in between. On the right, I would test out Juan Felix. So Juan Felix has had a tremendous season for Atletico Madrid, winning the La Liga this time around.
Exactly.
Andre Silva, I feel like he is the only out and out number 9 that Portugal has. So picking anyone over him currently would be a criminal negligence in front of me, right? So I feel like Andre Silva starts up front. Then you gotta have Ronaldo, and most likely he's gonna be playing in from the left. So I feel like either Bernardo Silva or Juan Felix would be interchanging on the right hand side of the front three. So looking at the team right now, if you can see on the left hand side of your screen, it's a tremendously dangerous team that they've got. That's my case for Portugal winning the Euros, and I feel like Ronaldo with another international trophy should be a great story. What do you think?
But I want to ask you this thing before we close this topic up. What is the success for Portugal in this tournament? Semi-final, final, or going all the way? Secondly, when you look at their run in towards the major tournaments, we saw that in the World Cup in Russia, they barely survived the group. There was a Ronaldo individual brilliant show against Spain that got them 1 point at the end. They couldn't beat Iran, and Fernando Santos is not the most versatile manager in the world. So my question is this: if Portugal fail to do something in this tournament with this team, is it on the manager or is it on the players?
I feel like it has to be on the manager because of the absolutely tremendous season each and individual player has had domestically. All these guys are of a very high breed. Specifically, when you got Ronaldo, and then you got Andre Silva, who's been in amazing form as of late in the Bundesliga, just barely missing out on the Champions League spot Eintracht Frankfurt. So I feel like it has to be said that it would be on the manager, because here's the difficulty. The players individually are great. How you play them as a team,
Absolutely.
that's on the manager. How you line them up and how you motivate them, that's on the manager. So I feel like success or no success is going to be on the manager. And I see a deep run for Portugal, at least into the semifinals. That's my prediction.
Makes sense. And finally, who wins the group? They are in the group of death, the group F, with France and Germany and Hungary. Who are the two teams that go through?
Hungary is out. let's
Absolutely.
just call it as it is. Hungary is no chance of going
Yes.
through. So it's France, Germany, and Portugal. And I feel like anything other than a final for France is a failure. I'm gonna go with my heart. I'm gonna go with Ronaldo. It's gonna be France and Portugal. France finishing top, and then Portugal, and then Germany.